Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want you to tell Ashley what your work is.
Okay. Oh, what my work is. I'm going to finish the thing I was saying.
Okay,
and
say
then
it.
Okay.
Okay, so vulture
I was,
medicine.
But no, this is like relevant too, because I was doing a Tonglen meditation literally in the parking lot across the street. And Tonglen is about like bringing in the pain, bringing in the depravity, bringing in the suffering, and like really feeling it, touching it, like taking it into your cosmology, and then bringing out, breathing out what's needed, right? And so I was doing this. I was actually thinking about baby elephants, which was like really painful.
Of course.
If I walked around all day thinking about the ways that baby elephants suffer, I would have trouble walking around. So that's a practice of like just being with and then breathing out. Like I was breathing out like Tia elephants, to be with the baby elephants who've lost their mamas. This is a whole story. I'm not going to get too lost on that. But anyways, in the midst of that process, I got this like, I'm ready for my turkey vulture. And I've been thinking it for the last like several weeks, but then it just got really clear. And to have the turkey vulture with its like wide spread towards my heart, so that you like out there in the world sees the back body of the wings, and it's flying towards my heart because that's like my work. But the turkey vulture is about like it's a bird with, you know, even its top of its head doesn't have any feathers at all, so that it can be like deep in the pestilence, the decay, the like rotting, carrion, the disease, and then it metabolizes it in its body and it refertilizes the soil and it neutralizes the disease that we pass on, right? But most of its life is spent like in play, soaring above, not in the details at all, right? And so that's part of like my work as a somatic therapist, is I work with the entire soma. And the soma is the wholeness of a person. It's the territory of our ancestors. Who are our people? Where did they come from? What experiences of trauma and joy and revelry and resilience actually changed their DNA so that we inherited it? I mean, epigenetically, it's like a part of our cosmology. Also, like, how am I feeling? How's my body responding? What's happening in my mind? What's the context of the culture I'm living in? What's, you know, all of those pieces working in wholeness from the bottom up. And so, but I find even as like we met, you like dropped into your, like, you let me see that piece right away, you know? That's my experience of like walking around the world. And I think that's part of just being a turkey vulture, is like,
I cried when I talked to you,
Yeah.
just for babe.
yeah. And I went on this 6-week road trip, right when like, it was in May, and I had been vaccinated for a few months, and my son had gotten vaccinated. So at that
We were
point,
talking about the Vax post.
Yeah, and
That's what brought you in,
Yeah.
was the Vax post.
No, it's the conditions. I was creating the conditions for my own liberation, and then I checked Instagram, and that was a part of the conditions.
Roots broke it down for you.
Right, like
Word.
like,
Sick.
So, you know, it's all part of this energy. And like thinking about, I walked in and the first thing I see is the fucking this,
The
which
print-
actually
the
this
print
is
that she
blown up.
bought.
I don't know if you remember, but I and there's
She
a story.
remembered. She texted me and
okay,
she's
so
like,
there's actually a story, because I was with a very good friend of hers who runs the fruit tree tour, the tour bus. And I was at a wedding for my friend Adrian, who I met because he was a couch surfer. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. I was at his wedding, and her homie, we were like crushing on each other without revealing it. And we were checking out of the hotel, and he saddles up next to me as I'm like waiting to be checked out. And he goes, "Hey, you want to make out a little bit?" And I was like, "What?"
Moves.
Yeah, I do. And so that happened, right? And as we were leaving,
Take note, fellas. It's good to be direct.
it was so real. I was like, I mean, you're just gonna straight ask me that? I do.
Yeah.
So as we were leaving, he texts me this image, and he goes, "This is you." And I have been doing so much work around reclaiming my jaguar because and by the way, my birth name was Vanessa, which is butterfly in Greek, and I have a butterfly here, and there's done a lot of work with butterflies, but that year, especially the jaguar came to me big, and I had this same sort of like reclamation where I had this part of me I saw as my monster, and I was trying to like suppress or kill my monster, and there was something in like owning and seeing and reclaiming my monster, and my monster I saw was actually a jaguar, and it was protecting me. And then I was like, oh, if I'm thinking of this part of me as my monster, it comes out sideways and I hurt people. But when I realize it's my jaguar, like jaguars are big ass cats.
For
with,
her,
like,
cat.
fucking
For her,
muscles.
cat is anger. Like that's what she was talking
Sacred
about.
anger.
Yeah,
'Cause it was
tigers-
Like most of the time,
tigers.
the jaguar's playing and sleeping in
Right.
trees, and like delighting in life. But when they need to, they're fucking skillful. And so I got that point where I was like, yeah, that anger, that rage, that like ability to just whoa, done. But like most of the time, I play. Like so like the last many years, and that painting came at that moment. So it's so interesting to be like, then I was like, oh, the Church Evil Tribe walk in, I see this. I'm like, do you know Ashley?
Blam.
So
This
so,
is the type of
homie,
shit.
This is the last piece is like, I know a microcosm of you as I've been watching over the years. And by the way, when you sent me this and I realized it was you, this was so different from like these paintings, which you know, like I was crushing on your artwork for years when I lived in Arcata, but this is such a different. This came home with me. So when I realized same, I was like, wait, what? And this has been like stewarding my clients forever, and now it's like my whole family stewarding.
It's
my
a
whole
big giant
family.
piece that you got. That's so amazing.
Yeah. But I walked in and was like, so ready for this, and then saw this, and then so
we got to
there's-
build you a
there's-
shop, baby. Long
there's-
story short.
Yes. Also, maybe
You got
we got
clientele.
some depth work to do together.
Also, yes. This
I would
was-
love for if that feels intriguing or interesting.
Yeah, I think that's
to
the main
offer
thing.
that as a gift.
Also, I want to get links from you and whatever material you want to get. 'cause
And
I
we
think
can
it'd
do
be
that
amazing.
remotely online, or you can come into my office, even better, and we can do it in person.
Maybe even this
Or we
weekend she's
could
supposed to come
go-
down. We
Yeah.
go to the park.
Yeah, we could go somewhere in nature.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
beautiful. Okay.